Alright, let's start. So, the meta right now is mostly about CC, and then the meta right now is really, really technically the meta right now is just all about CC, right? And I made a tier list before. I think the assumption was kind of wrong, right? Because my assumption was wrong. My assumption was thinking that everyone understand, like in the solo queue draft mode, like everyone understand what they're going to pick and what they're going to play. But the problem is that most of the time, like the good player is going to be picking first, right? The better player will be picking first, and then like the randoms will be like picking last. And sometimes if you pick like EXP heavy Pokemon, you will be, you'll be fighting for farms with your teammate, with your random teammates, and then after that you probably will not be able to hit your power spike, which is like which cause a lot of trouble in the long run. Um, I think I think right now we're just going to use this that assumption that thought process. Like my teammate, I'm going to first pick. My teammate is not going to be picking something that is going to be like uh, supporting me. So I need to carry myself. I need to support myself. But then again, like even if you first pick, sometimes you can first pick a support, right? That's a lot of thought process for the first pick thingy. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to start with the defender first. So Umbreon got a very interesting buff. Buff on foul play on and wish actually, right? Wish the healing was higher. Uh, and then people have been playing foul play and wish because they were buffed, right? Foul play wish. But I think right now people are too focused on foul play and wish. There are still like mean look wish, foul play snarl, right? Those two movesets are still good. Even like mean look snarl I think is good, although mean look wish is probably better because you can heal your teammate. And healing is essential in Pokemon Unite because if you don't have a healing, like if you don't have anyone to heal you, you can it's really hard to initiate as a defender, it's really hard to initiate as a all-rounder, and like sometimes it's risky to dive in as a speedster. So with all said, I think we're Umbreon, it should be on the banner first pick. Like it's just so good right now, right? uh it's just so good right now. Like it can it can never go wrong. By the way, it just cannot go wrong. It can mean look, it can foul play, it can wish. It basically has everything, right? So yeah, either ban or you first pick it. Like it's a Pokemon that can never go wrong. Although it's true that it's a defender, that means it kind of needs a teammate to follow up the thingy. But you can set up kills for your teammate basically. And since you're a defender, you can use EXP share to help your teammate. Like even if they're bad, you can at least help your teammate to get the power spike, and then yeah, hopefully just like hit the power spike and stuff, right? Uh, I think I'm going to start with Blastoise first. I'm going to skip Snorlax first. So Blastoise, I think technically some people hate Blastoise, right? Some people hate Blastoise. I think Blastoise is a Pokemon that is strong in certain hands, but it's just like not good enough on certain hands. I'm looking at my certain teammate, but yeah. I think Blastoise is very flexible too, right? Blastoise can go top lane, can go bottom lane as a support, as a tank. Blastoise with Surf and Hydro Pump is very annoying. The unit is also very annoying. Uh, not top lane. Water Spout and Rapid Spin is also a good diver, although it's kind of dangerous, kind of risky. But yeah, like the move, Surf and Hydro Pump alone are already good enough to make it. Like I think Blastoise is a first pick Pokemon. You can deal damage too, right? You can deal damage too with Blastoise, so it's not really a is not really a bad defender to play. Ever since like, although ever since the, I don't think it's above. Like this is probably a hot take, but I don't think the evolution change from level 9 to level 7 on Blastoise is a buff for support Blastoise, but it is a buff for I think it is a buff for carry Blastoise, like for the top lane Blastoise. But yeah, uh it is still a good first pick material. You can't just first pick it. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to say it. So yeah, we made it so there is a ban and first pick. So basically either you ban it completely or you just first pick it. Like that's the idea. First pick is just like a Pokemon that you can first pick. Like every time you just first pick it. Uh Good pick is just like a pick that is good, like whether you want to play. Usually it's not really a Pokemon that you want to pick first, but it's a good Pokemon if you want to pick it anytime. Like it's a good Pokemon in the meta, like in the current meta. Last pick material, I'm going to say it now. Last pick material is something like Falinks. This is also the reason why I'm making this tier list. Falinks is a Pokemon that counters a lot of Pokemon, but it also get counters by a lot of Pokemon, right? For example, like Lucario, right? Lucario can counters Falinks with what's it called? With extreme speed, and other Pokemon like Venusaur can counters Falinks with Giga Drain, right? But Falinks counters Pokemon like I heard it kind of like uh Buzzwole. So basically a single target Pokemon, like a single target high damage Pokemon. It's because sometimes it will hit the troopers, right? It will hit the troopers, one of the troopers, so the damage will be mitigated a lot. But yeah, once they have like a lot of the AoE, a lot of AoE options, like Falinks kinda suffer. Anyway, let's continue. So I'm going to put Snorlax in the risky pick because again, this is considering that this takes the assumption that this is a solo queue in the draft mode, right? Like if it's a 5 stack, I'm going to say Snorlax is the first pick, but for Snorlax in solo queue, even without draft, right? Even without drafting, I don't think Snorlax is a good Pokemon to be played in solo queue. It's good, right? It's good, but it's just like it's really dependent on your teammate, right? It's really dependent on your teammate because if you don't have a good teammate who follows up your damage, oh no, not damage, who follows up your heavy slam and block, I don't think Snorlax will have any good value there. Anyway, continuing. Uh, Slowbro is a popular. I think Slowbro is still popular despite like there are a lot of like defenders right now. Slowbro can definitely be a counter pick most of the time, but Slowbro first pick I think is also pretty solid. Mainly because you can just CC everyone, right? You can just CC the enemy, and then your team can follow up. Usually, the team has a harder time to follow up anyway because some random teammates are just like that, are they're just built like that, right? But the thing is that slow beam is just too strong. You can just use slow beam, and then the enemy, like if the enemy dives too deep, you can take down the enemy who's diving too deep and with slow beam, and then your team follows up by taking them down. And yeah, just surf and telekinesis is too good. Scott is also good for like DPS Slowbro. DPS oriented Slowbro, just slap choice pack sometimes, like what I'm wearing right now. You slap choice pack, you cancel, you wear EXP share, so EXP share focus band as choice pack. It will be dealing enough damage to not really guarantee a KO, but more like pressuring the enemy. It really pressure the enemies like very good. Yeah. So Crustle is also another interesting Pokemon. Like right now, people are playing uh Xcaesar and Stealth Rock, not Stealth Rock actually, Rock Tomb and Xcaesar. So basically, you Rock Tomb someone and then you Xcaesar someone, right? You Rock Tomb, trap them, and then Xcaesar them into the Rock Tomb, which stun them for like 1.5 seconds. The cooldowns are kinda low. Yeah, the cooldowns are kinda low, so it's spammable as well. But thing is, in solo queue, I think Crustle is good because not only because of that Rock Tomb and X-Caesar, there's still another move called Shell Smash, right? Shell Smash can definitely be a game changer sometimes, because most of the time you can make the enemy react to you by backcapping. Not like backcapping during Rayquaza, no, but backcapping when everyone is busy. And also, it's a good Pokemon to invade early on. It's really a good Pokemon to invade early on. So invade is also an option with Crustle. And since you can tell like who's going to jungle, you can probably tell. You can probably guess who's going to jungle. You can invade. Like for example, if you know the enemy jungler is going to be like Cinderace, you can actually invade because Cinderace has a hard time to secure. That way you can steal the blue buff or maybe red buff depending on like your preference, and then you can help the bottom lane most of the time. Yeah, because bottom lane is also very big. It's also very hard to see like when someone is missing. So Crustle can also invade again after the first rotation. So yeah, I think because of this flexibility, Crustle should be on the first pick material. You can first pick it. You can play it like you can play like the rest of the world, like the pro players are doing right now, Rock Tomb and X-Caesar, but you can also play Stealth Rock. And if you want to be, if you think like maybe I should be carrying, you can actually double stack. Probably you still need EXP share though. I still think that Crustle farms kind of slow even with X-Caesar, so it's best to have EXP share just to get your team going. Because sometimes with EXP share and then a unite, you can still kill the enemy carry, the enemy ADC. So yeah, it's not a bad idea to pick the Pokemon, to first pick the Pokemon and just use EXP share. Anyway, Goodra. Goodra is a weird Pokemon. It counters some Pokemon, but it gets counters by other Pokemon. I think Goodra, like just to make it short, I think Goodra is a niche pick. Goodra is strong. Goodra technically dives well, but the problem is Goodra gets countered by CC a lot. But I feel like Goodra can definitely, definitely pop off if you actually played against a team comp that cannot really kite him and cannot really CC him too much. I think as an example, like if the enemy has Delphox, I don't think Goodra is a good option here. So yeah, this is kind of niche pick and not really a risky pick because you can actually carry as a Goodra. Sometimes you can 1v5 as a Goodra if the enemy decided to not pick a CC. Like even if there's only one CC, sometimes you can 1v1 or 1v5 the enemy, especially if you run Dragon Pulse because you have a lot of heals. Mamoswine. Mamoswine. This is probably a hot take, but I think Mamoswine is a very strong Pokemon right now. It's just that Mamoswine gets countered by CC as well, just like Goodra, because Mamoswine's animation is kind of slow. But I think if the team is being aggressive, Mamoswine fits the bill. Like Mamoswine fits the team so much. I think it's a good pick right now. It's not really a mass pick material, but it's really a good pick. You can technically first pick it, but I don't really recommend it uh, because first of all, yeah, it doesn't have sustain, alright? But like if you look at Blastoise, if you look at Crustles, if these two doesn't really have sustain, right? Slowbro sustain is also kind of limited, but the thing is, the best offense is the best defense is the best offense, right? So instead of like relying on heal, you CC the heck out of the enemy, stop them from doing anything, and then you just win the game by dishing out lots of CC. Yeah, I think it's a good pick. It's just like the animation is kind of slow. It gets countered by CC, and it requires like even without healer, it can performs. It's just that The animation is slow, everything is slow, and the level 9 evolution is also hurting. Actually, level 9 evolution doesn't really hurt Mamoswine. It's just that uh, I feel like I feel like it's really limited. Like it's really limited compared to like Blastoise, right? Compared to Blastoise, it's really limited for some reason. Lapras is actually a niche pick. I don't think Lapras is that good in this meta right now. There are some niche play on Lapras, but because there are a lot of like long range attackers nowadays, like for example, like Delphox, Mew, right? Delphox, Mew, and then like even A9 alone can shut down Lapras just by using the thingy, using the Avalanche and Blizzard. Even like with Aurora Fail and Dazzling Limit can also shut down Lapras. And it's not really a good EXP shareholder anymore. I don't think it's a good EXP shareholder anymore. Usable, but not as good as if you compare it to uh, like Mamoswine with stronger CC and Slowbro or no, that's not say Slowbro. Blastoise, right, or Trevenant, right? They have like better CC. They have like a better time at tanking because they're tankier than Lapras right now. Uh, Lapras Express is good, but I don't think Lapras Express is like game changing anymore right now. Like most of the time, it's also the problem is also because Lapras Express usually is a like it's like a hoop up portal, but you need to pick your teammate, right? It's really problematic. You can save your teammate by pulling them away from a fight, but it's really like very niche. Trevenant probably is one of the best defender right now. Trevenant can be played as a damage dealer, like a brawler with Curse and Pain Split, or even like Curse and Horn Leech, because when you use your Curse and then you use your when you use Horn Leech, right? Let's say it's on cooldown, and then you use Curse. You use Curse and then you pop the Curse. It will reset your Horn Leech, and then you can use two Horn Leeches, right? That way you can perma CC the enemy while also dealing damage. Um, I think considering that how good it is right now, how good Trevenant is right now, I'm going to say it's a first pick material. It kind of works like Blastoise, considering that you can also like go top, like just double stack and do crazy stuffs. And also it has sustain. The Unite is good. I think it's a good first pick material. All right, Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff, I think is going to be in the tank category. Wigglytuff is more of a tank than a support. She can initiate. She can be a frontline. She's actually as tanky as other tank as well. Like her stat is actually like she has a tank. Her stat screams tank basically. I think I don't know. This is a very hard Pokemon to play. It's not an easy Pokemon to play, and with no sustain, it's not as strong as like Umbreon, or it's not as strong as like Slowbro or even like Crustle. But its Unite is very strong. The Unite is very strong in team fight, and also like if you can play a rollout, it's actually very aggressive like early game. It definitely allows an aggressive play mid game, early to mid game. Late game it kind of falls off. It's only like a CC. It only provides CC. It only provides Unite, so it's kind of limited. It can still boost check like usual the typical defender. So I think it's a good pick. It's not really a first pick. Like it's not really a first pick, but it's a good pick. You can definitely play it. It's a good Pokemon. Clefable, I think as since ever since the nerf on gravity cooldown and Moonlight Healing, I just think that it's not strong enough. Right? I don't think it's strong enough right now. I'm going to put it on niche. Right? I'm going to put it on niche. It's not that strong. It's not that strong anymore. The Unite is so strong, but I don't think it's not that strong anymore. And since you can see that the enemy is going to be Clefable, you can just counter Clefable with Curse Incense or Curse Mango, right? That means like the heal, like the only weak heal is going to be weaker. The next is Greedent. Greedent is actually a weird Pokemon. I feel like it's, if your name is like, I don't know, I kind of don't want to call name, but yeah, if you are a Greedent main, I think you can actually just first pick Greedent and just go from there. That's a strong Pokemon, but it's like it's really weird because mechanically weird. It's really a weird Pokemon. Yeah, specialist pick. So basically, yeah, specialist pick is like a Pokemon that is actually good if you're good at it, but bad if you're bad at it. All right, now is the support. I'm going to start with the Sableye, right? Sableye is on the risky pick. It's a very risky pick on Sableye. I think Sableye is good in some situation, but it's too risky to play Sableye to even first pick Sableye. Sableye is really dependent. Sableye, like if you pick Sableye, winning or losing is not your, like, the game situation is not your main concern, I think, because I don't see any way you can like carry the game as a Sableye. There are some way to play Sableye in solo queue, like using the Confuse Ray to secure, using the Unite to secure. It's just like a weird Pokemon in general. I feel like Sableye, yeah, like with Snorlax as well, right? You just don't have like, it has uses like Snorlax is actually better than Sableye. But the problem is that you really rely on your teammate, right? And if you play Sableye, you just put your team into like a 4v5 situation most of the time. So yeah, it's really dependent on your teammate. It's really hard to play solo queue. Like you don't have damage, you don't have anything to really help your team, right? You have stun, you have block, but that's all, right? That's all. But you don't really have that much damage. Like even Mamoswine has more damage than Snorlax. Like the Earthquake into Ice Fang combo can sometimes can sometimes take down an attacker. But what about Snorlax? Like the option is kind of limited. Once you play the Flaylax, it's just like, yeah, it's a different case. I don't think Flaylax is like, I think Flaylax is a meme basically. I think Flaylax is a meme. All right, next is Comfey. Like the same thought process is same. Like Comfey requires their teammate the most. Like, oh my god, like it's just like it's not a good Pokemon in solo queue. You cannot trust your teammate, right? Like first picking Comfey is also bad. Blind picking Comfey is also bad, right? But if you play like duo queue or trio queue, I'm going to say like Comfey is probably like the one of the best support. It's just that when you play it in solo queue, it's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work in solo queue. That's why it's in the note for the solo queue tier list thingy. Solo queue draft tier list. It's just like it's not going to work. I feel like it's really like if you sometimes the thought process is that sometimes when you have a Comfey on you, you think that you're invincible, right? You think that you're invincible. So yeah, you're just dive, right? You're just going to dive. That's risky already, right? That's like you're supporting someone who is actually like a thrower. So nah, I don't think like Comfey is a good for the solo queue player. Eldegoss. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Eldegoss is like the first pick material. Alright, Eldegoss is good. Eldegoss can be, so there is Eldegoss, there is Eldegoss, there is Eldegoss, right? Eldegoss is like you pew pew with your boosted attack, your attack and boosted attack, right? You pew pew the enemy, And then it has heal, which is the Eldegoss, because you can heal and also deal damage. And then there's the Eldegoss, right? Just heal the team, right? It's a good first pick, first pick Pokemon. It can be an attacker, kind of like an attacker, but it can also heal the team. You can be aggressive and pick Cotton Spore, and then you pollen puff yourself, or run to an ADC, run to the enemy ADC, who's unprotected, like for example the Decidueye, right? And then you Cotton Spore, you just attack, normal attack, normal attack, boosted attack, normal attack, normal attack, boosted attack, and then the heal pops off, the heal explodes, the Cotton Spore explodes, right? You can actually like carry the fight right there. For example, like if you don't have someone to jump into the backline, you can be the person who jumps into the backline at the cost of just leaving your team. But actually, it can work, right? It can work. So your options are not limited when you play Eldegoss. All right, so Hoopa. I think I kind of made a mistake. I kind of made the mistake last time, right? I thought that Hoopa was a good first pick material, right? I don't think Hoopa is a good first pick material. It's just a good pick, but it's not the first pick material. Hoopa really relies on teammate. But at the very least, Hoopa can still poke with the boosted attack, and like most of the time, you will run Muscle Band anyway, so you can help with objective rip when like your team doesn't have that much right click or doesn't have muscle band. And it's good at killing. Yeah, it's just a good. It has a strong reset. It really has a strong reset. And then Trick was buffed as well, right? Trick was buffed, so I think Trick was also good. And the Unite is actually very good as well. The Unite, if you know how to unite as a Hoopa, like when to use the unite, and like you have like lots of forethoughts on your portal and stuff. I think Hoopa is going to be a strong Pokemon. It's just that yeah, it's not really a first pick material. It still requires teammate. Uh Blissey, I think is a good pick. I don't think like Blissey is bad. Blissey is like, if you ask me the three best supports right now, not counting Umbreon, I'm going to say Eldegoss, uh, Hoopa, and then Blissey. I think Blissey is in the same category as Hoopa. The thing about Blissey is that you can't just keep healing. I don't know. I think you can just keep healing your team. It's really a good pick. There's nothing like Blissey is a simple Pokemon. Also, Blissey can secure. Blissey can secure, but you're not. Mr. Mime niche. It's more of a tank. It's more of a CC tank than a healer support. It's good on certain comp. It's bad on certain comp. It's good to. It can counter a lot of Pokemon, but yeah, it can counter certain Pokemon with barrier and what's it called? Barrier and confusion. But yeah, it's kind of like, it's also relying on teammate. You cannot really carry on your own as an SMM while you're playing like a defender as Pokemon. I'm going to say that Wigglytuff is more annoying than Mr. Mime, despite that Mr. Mime can deal more damage. But yeah, I feel like it's better to put Mr. Mime on niche. Alright, the Nope is Cinderace for attacker, right? Nope is Cinderace. I'm going to say Greninja is a risky pick. Greninja can be played with Surf and Thingy, right? So, right, you can play Surf, you can play Smokescreen, so you can play like an assassin, but you can also play it like a ADC. It's just that it's not too good, but it's just not too good compared to like assassin, or like compared to other ADCs, for example, like Dragapult, right? But it can snowballs. right? It can snowballs once you reach level 7. It can snowballs. Unlike Cinderace needs level 11 technically, right, for the base kick plus to actually like pop off. But once you hit like level 11, most of the time, like the team already suffers 4 versus 5 for a long time. It's really rough for the like to give space to farm for a Cinderace is really rough. Like yeah, most of the time it's really weak early game as well. Like the other at ADC, I think it's going to be the Decidueye. I think the Decidueye is a good Pokemon right now. The Decidueye is good. Uh, you don't really need to stack, but the early game is so weak, right? You don't really need to stack. You can run Curse Bangle. The early game is kind of weak. You only need Charging Charm, right? You only need Charging Charm. So yeah, the thing is good. The Spirit Shackle is good. The Unite is kinda eh. But yeah, Spirit Shackle, right? Spirit Shackle is good, even with only Charging Charm. Uh the reason why I put it on last pick is because you know that the enemy you pick the Decidueye when the enemy is not going to jump on you, right? If you know that the enemy is not going to jump on you, if they're like turtling, you can definitely pick the Decidueye. The Decidueye is a very good Pokemon. Like if you know the enemy is not going to pick like Talonflame, Absol, Scyther, uh, Zeraora, Dodrio, Masquerada, basically like all of those speedsters. Uh, it's just better to just run the Decidueye. Like your early game is weak, but once you hit level 7, no, actually once you hit level 8, right? Once you hit level 8, you're uh, when you have Shadow Sneak, you're going to put pressure on the enemy. Unlike Cinderace, you need level. I think you need level 11. Despite it having like repositioning, damage, and mobility, I feel like Cinderace is kind of risky. Cinderace is too risky to play, and yeah, I feel like the Decidueye is just better. It's also probably like preference, but I still believe that the Decidueye is better. The Decidueye farms faster as well with the Spirit Shackle, but once you have Blaze Kick on Cinderace, your farming is kind of slow. It's as low as Mystical Fire Sylveon, but it's just it's just slow. I don't think it's a I don't think I don't think Cinderace is good.
Let's be
As
real
good.
here. Tsareena is in specialist pick 100%.
Alright, actually, let's do Tsareena first. Yeah, Tsareena is a specialist pick. I'm just going to start with Tsareena here. I'm going to jump to Tsareena first. Tsareena is a Pokemon. Tsareena is good, right? Tsareena is good. It's just that it's not really a Pokemon that is like I don't know. You need skill to play Tsareena. Okay, you need skill. You really need skill. It's good, but you really need skill, and also it's really situational. It's so situational. Like if the enemy has a counter, has like a counter to Tsareena, which I'm not going to mention, I don't think Tsareena is good. Like if it gets counter, Tsareena is just like yeah, nah. And most of the time, the counters are everywhere in the solo queue, like in ranked game right now. So yeah, just don't pick Tsareena if you don't know what to do with Tsareena.
Skill? In Pokemon Unite? This
Oh
seems
no.
like a joke.
Anyway, Venusaur. I think Venusaur is more of a last pick. Actually, no. I'm going to say Venusaur is a good pick. Venusaur can be run into Paddle Dance, can be run into Solar Beam, right? You can run Solar Beam, you can run Paddle Dance, but you cannot run. But you need to know what the enemy is going to be. Like if they're going to be like, and also you need to know what your team is needing, right? It can fill in the spot. Like if the team needs all rounder, you can run Paddle Dance. If your team needs like an arm mage, you can run Solar Beam. The only problem with Venusaur is that it also gets countered by CC. It only gets countered by CC, and like if you're playing Solar Beam, you get dive. So yeah, it's really like I don't think it's a good last I don't think it's a good last pick Pokemon. You should just be picking it like the second pick, probably the second pick. Like if you second pick Venusaur is also good. Alright. I'm going to skip Gardevoir first because Gardevoir is kind of weird. A9, I think A9 is a good pick. I think A9 is a good pick, yeah. I want to say that A9 is also a good a good first pick, but I don't think like first picking A9 is a smart idea. If they see you pick A9, probably they will be able to counter you, right? And also there are a lot of other first pick, like a good Pokemon to first pick. But yeah, A9, I think A9 is just a good pick. You can run Avalanche Blizzard, you can run Aurora Fail. Both of them are very good in this current meta because of CC.
I would say Guard is specialist pick. A9 has 0 to none mobility, so I would say last pick.
A9 has 0 to none mobility. No, the no mobility part of A9 is actually good. The A9 no mobility part is actually good because you can actually just bait enemy. Alright, you bait the enemy, make yourself look weak, and then all of a sudden you Avalanche Blizzard them. You can trap them in my solo. I'm going to test it in my solo queue. I will try it. I will try it. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to try everything, but yeah. And then yeah, let's actually go with Gardevoir. Gardevoir is definitely a specialist pick. Gardevoir is a Pokemon that is actually very weird, very weak early game. You need to jungle. If you don't jungle, you need to be a very good bottom laner. You need to be a good securer. Yeah, you need to catch up a lot. You need to catch up before you can actually get to like the power spike thingy. I'm also going to say that Cramorant is a specialist pick. Cramorant Dive is just so good, even in this current meta. It's good. It's just like it's a weird Pokemon in general. You need to be able to play it like yeah. You need to be able to play it basically. I'm going to say Espeon now is in the specialist pick. Most people are probably just still going to play Star Power and Psybeam, but Psyshock Psybeam Espeon is so good. It's still good. It's just that yeah, you need to be able to play Psyshock Psybeam, and also you need to be able to like switch around your moves because Espeon is a very weird Pokemon. You can play all 4 movesets. It's just that yeah, it's a very weird Pokemon right now. It was good, it's not good anymore.
All the mummies in specialist pick. And then you have the squirrel, bluebird and pink cat.
Oh no. Oh no. Alright, Delphox. I'm going to put Delphox in the good pick. I don't think Delphox is the first pick material anymore. The thing is that Delphox is good once you reach level 7, once you can get your Fire Spin going. Before your Fire Spin, you're just weak. Like other Pokemon evolve at level 5 and then get their moves at level 5. Delphox is just weird. You need to evolve at level 6, right? You fully evolve at level 6, and then you get your Fire Blast or Mystical Fire, and then you need 1 more level for you to pop off. I don't think Delphox is like a good first pick. Not a good last pick as well. Like you can last pick other Pokemon. But yeah, if we're doing an S to C type of tier list, I'm going to say I was going to say that Delphox is S tier. Yeah, I'm going to say that.
Would you say Delphox has the best Unite move in the game?
I say Delphox has the best Unite move in the game. can get counterable. It's not exactly the best Unite move, but because Delphox has a very quick Unite, you can spam your Unite and it makes it into a strong point. Right? It makes it into a it makes Energy M strong, and with Energy M, your mystical fire or like your fire blast is going to kill a lot of people. It's just like it's a fifth. It's good, but it's not like the best. All right, Duraludon. I'm going to say Duraludon is niche. Pokemon Unite, right? Pokemon Unite is all about who gets the Rayquaza. Actually, no. Like I'm going to say like 70% of the time, right? 70% of the time, Duraludon is all about the rip, right? You rip Rayquaza, you rip objective, and then you get the objective, and then you win the game, right? 70% of the game. But yeah.
Put Duraludon in note to annoy Varage.
Should I? Alright. Screenshot this. Screenshot this. And then whenever Varage annoys you, you just yeah. But yeah. Duraludon is unfair. I don't think it's unfair to Cinderace. Like the farm, Duraludon farms faster than Cinderace. That's the thing. Duraludon growth is stable. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think Cinderace.
New viewer 2.
I don't
Am
think
I
you should be
allowed to
playing
deliberately
Cinderace.
time myself starting matchmaking in order to increase my chance to meet you in a ranked match?
Oh no. Anyway, I'm going to put this Pokemon in talent also in specialist pick. It's not a bad Pokemon, but it's just like
new viewer
it's really
2.
hard.
Am I allowed to deliberately time myself starting matchmaking in order to increase my chance to meet you in a ranked match?
I'm pausing the TTS! Ah! I'm pausing the TTS! You guys are trolling too much! Alright. Dragapult, I think, is a good last pick Pokemon. If you feel like you have enough damage, if you feel like you need a jungler, right? If you need a jungler, but you cannot play, you cannot play all of those speedsters. Dragapult is actually a good pick here. Dragapult is a very good pick. You can just like pew 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 at the enemy. You go for Phantom Force and then just pew 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 pew, get 10 KO and then pew 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 and then just like secure with your unit and then pew 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 and then the enemy is all gone. Right? They just disappear just like you. Yeah. Just like yourself, disappearing into the Phantom. I think right now, like yeah, the Dragapult has a lot of them, a very high damage. It's just insane. So not Cinderace, Chandelure I think is a good pick. Chandelure is actually one of the good Pokemon right now. I feel like Chandelure is just like yeah, Chandelure can silence someone but imprison. The damage on Flamethrower is good. Can be a Curse Incense holder. Unite is very strong, like blinding people is very strong. And yeah, I feel like it's very strong right now. The only problem is it's fragile. It doesn't have like mobility. It can't really escape. But without that, like outside of that, is actually a good pick. All right, Pikachu. I'm going to say Pikachu is her first pick. Why? Pikachu is level 4 Pokemon. Like a level 4 Power Spike Pokemon. Technically, you need level 6. Technically you need level 6 for Thunder and Thunderbolt, right? For the Thunder and Thunderbolt combo. So yeah, and also the unit is kind of cheap, right? So it's kind of easy to play. Dura and Cinder should be in the same tier. Fine, it's only in the no tier. Alright, Pikachu is in the first pick. Sylveon, I'm going to say it's the first pick as well. So the assumption is you need to be able to carry, right? So you need to be able to like win fight alone, if possible, like 1v5, right? 1 versus 5. Sylveon is not really a Pokemon that can 1v5, but it is quite durable. It's quite durable, and is like Mystical Fire at level 4 alone is too strong. I feel like it's strong. And then like once you get the Draining Kiss, like if you have a level lead as well, you can definitely snowball from there. The only problem with Sylveon is that it cannot secure. Its secure is very hard. Like I don't think it has a good secure. But outside of that, even if you don't want to play Mystical Fire, like this is a draft game, right? You can see what the enemy is going to pick. Maybe you can also play Hyper Voice. Like the option is open. Glaceon. I'm just going to put Glaceon in the last pick category. Glaceon is not the Pokemon that is actually like a. Glaceon is good. Oh no. Oh no, why am I? Oh no, my chat is bullying me. My chat is bullying me. But yeah, Glaceon. I don't think Glaceon is a good first pick Pokemon. Glaceon's power spec is a level 6 technically. Whether you're playing Icicle Spear or Icy Wind, the power spec is at level 6. It's not an easy Pokemon to play as well. It kind of get counters by Speedsters, but it can also counter Speedsters, right? So it all boils down to the time to kill. Time needed to kill. If your time needed to kill is very short, right? For example, like if you're playing Scyther, right? Scyther can actually counter Glaceon. Even Zeraora can counter Glaceon. Oh my goodness, Raj is just bullying me. What the heck? Yeah, I think Glaceon is really. But yeah, if you know that you're going to counter the enemy, Glaceon is actually a good Pokemon. It's the strongest Pokemon. Mew, last time I put Mew on like the Mew category, but I think Mew is back to specialist pick. Mew is not that. Mew is good. Technically, Mew is good, but the problem with Mew is that you also rely on your teammate for the tempo. You cannot set up your tempo. You cannot set up tempo, but oh no. You know, if you do that, it will just make this tier list longer because we still have like a lot. We still have the speedsters and all rounder. If you keep doing that, it'll only make this tier list longer because you keep disturbing me. You need to snipe or no? But yeah, Mew suffers from the inability to create tempo. Like you need teammates to create tempo. You need your teammates to create tempo. Mew is extremely strong. People just like brain cells. Oh no. Alright. Levion, just ban Levion. Simple. Strong secure, strong bone. It is also very flexible because you can go Razor Leaf and just be a speedsters in like a normal speedsters. If you're not going to play Razor Leaf, you can still play Solar Bit and play it like a mage or something. And yeah, just a bong is just too good. Alright. Absol. Actually, I'm going to skip Absol first. Can we test the Charlie and if we lose, you cross the first thing? Oh no. Alright, I'm going to struggle a bit with Speedsters because Speedsters right now is not really like Speedster is weird. Speedster is very weird. Alright, Speedster is very weird. Like Speedster is good in this meta. Like look at this. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 9 attackers on like the meta pick right now, right? We're not even talking about this, but 9 attackers on the meta pick. And then most of the time, the enemy is going to pick like something like Cinderace, Greninja. So in that situation, I'm going to start with Talonflame first, right? Talonflame is a good pick right now. Talonflame is not that hard to play, but it's definitely a good pick. Dodrio is a specialist pick. All right, let me explain a bit about Talonflame actually. Talonflame can go fly and just fly deep into the enemy position, the enemy formation, and just take down the enemy attacker first, right? Kind of gets countered by Glaceon, to be honest, because Glaceon has like a Snow Cloak, which nullifies the fly damage most of the time. But if you can actually like ignore the Snow Cloak, you can take down almost all of these Pokemon. Like they cannot stop you. Once you fly, you fly, you reposition yourself with flame charge, you can deal a lot of the damage. It's just that yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like it's just good. It's good. Dodrio is a specialist pick. Same with Zoroark and Zeraora. I think these two are like a fun fact. Zeraora has the Zeraora has the highest ban rate. I don't know why. I think people are just too scared playing against Zeraora. But then again, Zeraora is actually very good, right? In solo queue. It's a very good solo queue Pokemon. It can just like take down lots of like those Greninja, Cinderace, Decidueye, right? Muscarada, I think is good. And actually, Muscarada is the last big Pokemon. I don't trust like you really need to see whether the enemy is going to pick something that is too tanky for Muscarada to take down. But then again, Muscarada can still take down lots of tanks. It's just that CC counters Muscarada. Gengar, I think, is a niche pick. No, actually, Gengar is a specialist pick. Gengar is actually a good Pokemon. It's just that you need to be able to snowball, and most of the time you need to be able to hit your snow or Dream Eater. Yeah, you need to be able to hit your Dream Eater and Shadow Ball consistently for it to be, and also like taking like target prioritizing is very important in Gengar. Absol is also another specialist Pokemon. I don't think Absol is a good Poke. Like Absol is very good. It's just like yeah, you kind of need to think about yeah. Why don't I want to ban Meow or Zoro? I only have to ban Shadow Woman. People, like I said, surprisingly, people are banning Zoroark a lot, right? While there are still like, for example, Levion, right, Umbreon, and then like there are other Pokemon like Gyarados, right? Those Pokemon are too strong, right? But yeah, I think Zoroark, like you can just ban Zoroark, but yeah, it's just like yeah. I feel like it's kind of always because not everyone plays Zoroark. That's a problem. That's also part of the problem. Not everyone plays Zoroark. Some Zoroark players are just like, yeah, nah. Alright, Scyther and Caesar. I'm going to put it in the same place. I'm going to put Scyther in the good last pick category. Scyther and Caesar is a good last pick category because Scyther is a very scary quote unquote speedster. And then Caesar can counter like if they pick 5 physical Pokemon, right? You just counter them with the Caesar. That's as simple as that. No one's any good with Zoro even when they do. Yeah, but if you encounter one, you'll know it's a specialist. Yep, exactly. Alright, Garchomp. I'm sorry, Garchomp, you're in a no category. Garchomp, technically Garchomp is not that bad. But Garchomp is like when you have hammer, you slam with your hammer. That's the thing. That's the whole thing about Garchomp. When all you have is hammer. Check it on TV tropes. When you all have is hammer. Because you only like you have CC technically, but I don't know. It's just too risky. It's just that. It's just like it's just better to not pick Garchomp at all. Garchomp is like what? What do you provide? What really do you provide as Garchomp? Like I'm going to say Garchomp is actually better than Cinderace. Garchomp unit is strong, but outside of that, like what? If you like, for example, Garchomp Unite, you go in and then you don't take down someone, right? If you cannot take down someone, then yeah, you just get kited after that. And then you really need a lot of things to make Garchomp works. Good early game, like good support. And yeah, I just feel like it's a big no right now. But I will change it maybe. Maybe I'll change it later. We will see. We will see. Lucario, specialist pick. The same as Machamp. The same as uh Dragonite. The same as Aegislash. Yeah, these four are just like, yeah, they are the specialist pick. Like if you see Material Machamp, you probably need to be afraid, right? Material Machamp, be afraid, right? Joe from OCE, Dragonite, you need to be scared. Kabi-chan, Dragonite, you just first pick. You just ban it. You just ban Dragonite from Kabi-chan, right? That's the thing. Aegislash kind of falls off, but Aegislash is good. Aegislash is good. Like it counters like uh counters attackers somewhat, as long as you don't get CC'd. But yeah, it's like a very good diver. Dragonite is not like is not really a sim. Dragonite is not as simple as, let's say, Dragapult. You need to know when you're going to use your Hyper Beam, right? How you're going to charge up your Hyper Beam and how are you going to use your Hyper Beam. And then the secure with Dragonite is not something that you can just take up. You just can take up. You need to have the feel. So your Hyper Beam will secure 100% of the time. That's why Kabi-chan and Joe is like those, like Kabi-chan, the team Kabi-chan from Japan, and like Joe from OCE Ground Zero is just scary, right? They're just scary with Dragonite because both of them knows when to secure with Dragonite. But outside of that, like yeah, I don't think it's good. Like I don't think like you can probably play Outrage, but why do you want to play Outrage Dragonite, right? There are other better brawler that is not easily countered. Well, technically you can just jump onto someone and then you can just take them down, but still, like I feel like it's not that. Yeah, it's just like yeah. Charizard. I'm going to put Charizard in risky pick. I'm really going to put Charizard in risky pick. Charizard is weak until level 5. Technically, Charizard actually can use Flare Bleach, right? Flare Bleach to CC someone. But the problem is like it's really Unite reliant. The Unite is cheap, but it's really Unite reliant unless you play Flare Bleach. That in which case you're going to be like a semi-tank, CC provider and stuff like that. But when you play Flare Bleach, it's just like yeah, you don't have that Fire Blast farming potential. It's just like yeah, I feel like Charizard is especially after the Muscle Band nerf. Oh no, this guy. Azumarill. I'm going to put Azumarill in risky pick actually. Yes, this is solo queue. Azumarill kind of falls off late game as well. You are also relying on Unite. If you cannot Unite someone, then yeah. If you don't have Unite, I don't think the damage is good. You really need Unite to actually pop off with Azumarill. I think just like the early game is good. The mid game is good. You kind of also late game when like everyone is gathering to do Rayquaza fight. Once everyone is doing Rayquaza fight, sometimes they got to come up and then you cannot really take down. Like your AoE damage is just like yeah bad. Snowballing, like even if you snowball, like once the enemy clump up together, it's just like yeah, how are you going to aqua tail them? Like Whirlpool is not good anymore with against like clump up enemy. You can play it as an assassin. You can take down the enemy backliner. But yeah, that's only limited to that. Once you take down the enemy backliner, how about your team? Is your team able to survive? Like yeah, if they're dying, if they're losing, then it's going to be one versus four. And Azumarill doesn't appreciate one versus four, or just like one versus two or one versus three. Azumarill just doesn't appreciate it. And also like yeah, it's just awkward on Rayquaza fight. Like an objective fight is kind of awkward, but once it's like, but before the objective or Rayquaza fight, it's very good. Like it's a good Pokemon that can snowball out of control. It's just like once you hit that certain timing, like it's just like yeah. T-Tar is another risky pick. T-Tar technically is better than Garchomp, right? T-Tar's unit is strong, but again, it's the same as Charizard. It's relying on Unite. Without Unite, I don't know how you're going to win. Unless the enemy clumps up together, I think that's the time T-Tar is going to be strong. But outside of that, I don't know. I feel like T-Tar is just too risky to pick. Uh, Buzzwole, I'm not going to say Buzzwole is strong right now. Buzzwole is definitely definitely falls off into specialist pick. Actually, you know what? T-Tar is actually a specialist pick as well. T-Tar is not a good Pokemon before it evolves, but once it evolves, it's so strong. It's just like the bad thing about T-Tar is that it's reliant on Unite. Probably you can play it without Unite, but I feel like it's really relying on Unite. Boswell is now a specialist pick. It's still strong. It's just that it's not as good as before. Like I just don't feel that much threatened before, right? I didn't feel threatened, but now I just feel that yeah, it's not as threatening as before as well. But it still can be strong on a certain hands. On certain hands, it's just like it's not that yeah, it's not that like a good pick anymore. Like there are other good picks now. Technically, you can 1v1 a Garchomp with a Buzzwole, but then again, you need like levels, you need stacks. So it's kind of it's kind of yeah risky. Blaziken I think is a good pick. I'm going to skip these two. I'm going to just skip this two bears. Blaziken is a good pick. I don't think Blaziken is last pick material. Like you don't really need to last pick Blaziken, but Blaziken is a good pick. Uh, this kick and overheat, right? Overheat is just like yeah, overheat is good. The combo, right? It can be an assassin, it can be a brawler, but most of the time it's just like a mix of it, right? It's not really a tanky Pokemon, but yeah, it's a very good Pokemon. The only problem is that it's kind of weak early game. And actually, the secure is not too bad. The secure on Blaziken is not too bad. It's just that the early game is kind of yeah. You're also kind of stuck, right? You're also kind of stuck at level stuck when you're just a combustion. You're stuck at that. You only have like base kick to push the hey, just like to CC, but outside of that, I don't think like you kind of need level. You kind of need level, and also some people just stack with Blaziken as well. So yeah, you stack Reliant, level Reliant, but once you hit that power spike, it's just kind of like the Decidueye, right? It kind of like it is kind of like the Decidueye. Once you hit the power spike, uh, you can actually do lots of stuff with Blaziken. Mimikyu, I think Mimikyu is a good pick. I don't think you need to I don't think you need to last pick Mimikyu. Like if you already see like one or two squishy Pokemon, you can just like pick Mimikyu and then just counter them by shadow sneaking into them and then play roughing them. Like that's already a good scenario with Mimikyu. And even then, like if you don't really have a target, you can also still play Shadow Claw. Shadow Claw is a good brawler move. You can brawl with Shadow Claw. Sometimes you can out out contest the enemy. Metagross is also another good pick. Surprisingly, Metagross is very strong right now. Uh, I I thought Metagross was not good, but Metagross is actually a very you don't really need to rely on your teammate basically. Once you reach level 5, you have Gyro Ball, you can just flash farm Altaria camp and stuff like that. Uh, and it's kind of tanky, right? It's quite tanky. The only problem with Metagross is that the Unite is just too weak. I don't understand like what kind of Unite is that? It's basically like putting an arena or something. But outside of that, I don't think it's good. The Unite is good. Gyarados, just ban Gyarados. Gyarados is just too strong. Even if it has a weak early game, Gyarados is too strong. Once you evolve as a Gyarados, it's so good. It's just so strong. It bounce, it's like a full heal at any time you want with very cheap CC. Right. And then what's it called again? The Unite is also strong at setting up stops. Uh yeah, the only problem with Gyarados is just the early game. But I've seen people going jungle as Metagross, not Metagross, as Gyarados, right? I've seen people going jungle as Gyarados. They finish the jungle quite late, right? They sometimes goes out of the jungle at minute 9, so sometimes they're going to be late at Altaria. But I think I've seen few jungle Magikarp who evolves. Yeah, they basically evolves. So if I remember correctly, if you spam Splash, you will get the thingy, right? You will get the average gauge thingy, the evolution part, right? So Gyarados is just like it gets its evolution very easily. Even if you punish it, it will get its evolution. Like if you punish its early game, it will get its evolution, which is sucks. Which sucks. It sucks. But yeah, although you can still slows down its timing, but outside of that, I still feel like you sometimes you just cannot punish a Magikarp or Gyarados pick. Like even if you first pick it, sometimes it's really hard to punish it. All right, Urshifu, right? I'm going to put Urshifu in the same place. Urshifu is probably in the niche pick right now. Actually, let's just put Urshifu in specialist pick. I've seen, I think I haven't seen a lot of pick it below Urshifu, the single strike Urshifu. I think Urshifu is just a Pokemon that is in the specialist pick right now. Alright, so yeah, let me get this right. Like this is why like Levion is good here and like Mascara is like a good last pick because like look at this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, counting Hoopa as well. Right? Like there are a lot of squishy Pokemons in the meta right now. It's really like all the meta Pokemon are squishy. The non-meta Pokemon are just like like if you can take down the backline, I think like CZ is also very strong in this meta. Like all CZ is just too good because like there are just too many uh there are just too many CZ provider as well. Pikachu with Thunderbolt, this Delphox with Fire Spin, Avalanche Blizzard combo on A9. Like even this provides silence. like this is not, they don't really provide CC, but like most of the Pokemon does provide CC, and then like all of the supports and tank are just provide CC and stuff. All right, I guess that's all. I'm going to share this to YouTube. I'm going to share this to Twitter. I'm going to share it to my Discord. And yeah, I'm done.